Como é que é, maluco? Está tudo fixe contigo? Como é que tu estás? Estás fixe? Tu estás aí a lá? Estás fixe? Estás preparado para mais uma grande live? Hum? Estamos aqui de novo no nosso estúdio. Aqui com a nossa coleção de Dragon Ball aqui atrás, pessoal. Yeah. Ali com o Super Saiyan 3, o Goku, ali atrás. E com o nosso R2, daqui pessoal. Nosso R2, mesmo bacana. Bem, pessoal, estamos em apostos, está tudo perfeito para mais uma grande live, mas antes, passem no link afixado aí em baixo, desconto em todos os jogos, 10 a 90% de desconto, para todas as plataformas, pessoal. Também tem a gift cards, tem muitos jogos, olha, por exemplo, Starfield que vamos jogar agora, ah, Mortal Kombat 1, Payday 3, ah, aquele jogo novo, como é que se chama? Qualquer coisa in Animal, Party in Animals, uma cena assim. Yeah, todos os jogos são com desconto, pessoal. Passem por lá, deem uma olhada. Yeah. Isso. Bora lá. Pois, nós tínhamos trazido aqui a Sona. Yeah. Tínhamos trazido para aqui, pois foi. Bora lá.
I know everyone's excited by the artifacts, but we need to be as objective as
Ok,
possible.
agora os
to be
artefactos
aware
estão um
of
bocado para
possible
trás.
negative effects.
Mas nós vamos voltar lá. Vamos voltar lá no ele.
Ask
No.
if you've got questions. Speak up if you
Não
have
tenho, não
ideas.
tenho. Bora.
We're all here for the same.
Vamos lá. Vamos lá, malucos. Aí está. Bora.
Is there a
Mas
type
anda aqui
of
sem
weapon
roupa.
combat tech won't make?
Mas tu estás bem. Estás bem, de certeza.
Your file says you have a military background.
Mesmo. Anda ali sem roupa, tranquilo.
Hi, how you doing?
Ai, que memorial. Mas está ali uma coisa morta. Não, aquilo é flores. Ok. Onde é que vai estar? Alguns caras.
Look at this. All these people. Their entire lives distilled down to names on a memorial. I wonder how close I came to being reduced to just a name.
Lembrado pelo não é bem melhor. Yeah.
I am proud. I was simply too foolish to realize it until you changed my perspective. And I care about you too. There's obviously some kind of a connection between us that I think we need to discuss. Just let me have another moment here, and then we can head over to the waterfall. So we can talk about
Caralho. Ela já está a ficar toda acesa. E agora, fica assim? Pessoal, não dá para nos mexermos. Ah, ok. Já está.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
Deve estar até a queda d'água. Ok, bora lá. Dá maluco.
That sounds great.
Já fizeram aqui o memorial dele. Olha só. Bora. Comigo?
When things at the lodge are too much, I love coming to this spot to just sort of, I don't know, melt away for a while. It's lovely here, isn't it? I've been from one end of the settled systems to the other. But this place, this exact spot, there's nowhere else like it in the galaxy. I knew you'd appreciate it. I usually come up here to mull over some of the heated debates we have at Constellation. You'd be surprised how many decisions I've made on this very spot.
Tentar.
Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. I've certainly learned that you can't make everyone happy. Anyway, I didn't ask you up here to admire the scenery. I asked you up here because I wanted to talk about something very important. No, not at all. Just let me get all of this out. I have a lot to say. It's about my
agora?
return to Cassiopeia. What we learned about Sona has been constantly replaying in my mind. Maybe it sounds crazy, but that young girl's isolation feels like a reflection of my own life.
Não sei se é entende.
Maybe. But for how long? I've spent my life surrounded by all sorts of people. Constellation, the Navigator Corps. Hell, even the UC military. Despite that, no matter how hard I've tried to make them a part of my life, they tend to drift away and disappear.
Lidar com utilizades.
Are you sure? For all we know, it's in my nature to keep people at arm's length. Or worse, push them away.
Só vejo uma pessoa perdida. Está sempre dessa forma.
Finding someone like that would be wonderful. Wait a second. What exactly are you saying? Sorry, I just need a moment to gather my thoughts. From things you've said in the past, it's obvious you want to have a serious relationship. You want to become close. So, if you're willing to take that leap of faith with someone like me, then I'm ready to do the same.
Graças.
You're something truly special. You know that? You've helped me conquer my self-doubt, my confidence, hell, everything. For the first time in my life, I feel complete. And with you by my side, I'm convinced that feeling will last forever. You're the best thing that's happened to me in my life. I love you.
Yeah.
Always.
Ai, recebemos 5.000 pela mesma. Recebemos 5.000 créditos pela mesma arte. Ok. Pronto.
I received a message from my mother a few days ago. She's returned from another one of her sightseeing cruises. Yeah, you know, one of those luxury liner journeys that shows off binary stars, gas nebulas, asteroid fields. Pretty photogenic stuff. Apparently, it's my mother's new favorite pastime. Oh, that's right. I haven't really spoken about her to you, have I? My mother lives in a fairly remote location, so we rarely speak. Tends to keep her out of my mind. Sure, when you're younger. But as soon as you get older and they begin controlling your life, that's when you need to strike out on your own. Oh, I'm certain they felt they were doing the right thing. You see, both of my parents were diplomats working under the flag of the UC Administrative Division. After I completed my basic education, they signed me up for a one-year apprenticeship in their department, without bothering to ask. It's the governmental arm of the United Colonies. You know, the politicians, the diplomats, the ambassadors. Imagine having to spend most of your career hovering behind a desk. Oh, I can't even fathom anything more boring. Wanted isn't the right word. Demanded would be more appropriate. For my apprenticeship, I was sent to Sidonia. My job consisted of drafting political policies and arbitrating trade disputes. The silver lining of the job was that it allowed me to spend time exploring every square inch of Mars. You have to understand, This was my first time I was alone on another world. Now, don't get me wrong. Jemison is an amazing place. Mars was like a new frontier. Oh, I spent every waking moment I could exploring the planet. I was swallowed by it. Months before the apprenticeship ended, I dumped my diplomatic certification and joined the UC Navy. Of course, my parents didn't approve. We had a huge argument that resulted in all ties being severed between us. Well, that wasn't the worst of it. You see, my father was killed during the opening shots of the colony war. I returned to Jemison for the funeral and reunited with my mother. After that, we vowed to stay in touch. After the Freestar Collective started farming Vesta, and the UC pushed back, my father was one of the many diplomats sent in to arbitrate. After the talks broke down, war broke out on Vesta, and all of the UC diplomats were evacuated from Freestar space. Unfortunately, my father's transport was caught in the crossfire. Aren't you sweet? Always concerned with how I'm feeling. That's why I fell in love with you. Your smile, your caring. It brightens even my darkest days. Listen,
Tá toda maluca.
I'm going to be completely
Ela tá toda
upfront.
maluca, olha ali.
All this talk of family, it makes me wonder where our
Johnny
own
faz
relationship
tudo.
stands. You mean that?
Está aqui
You
moscas,
do
pessoal.
that? For me? I've been dreaming about this moment and still, I don't know what to say. I swear, I'll love you until forever itself ends. I just need a little time to think about the ceremony. I have some thoughts about how we should move forward. You know, I used to dream about finding the love of my life. And here you are. All I ever
Eu
needed
estou que surpreende-me
was you,
tanto.
right here, beside me. Lot on your mind?
Contar uma coisa.
What's on your mind?
Ai, agora cenas, tipo, não dizer-lhe cenas fixe. É. E é que me queda.
I don't deserve someone as amazing as you. How the hell did I get so lucky?
Meu Deus.
No matter how difficult things have gotten, your love has given me strength. It's clear that we belong together.
Ah, ok.
Good. Anytime you want to talk about our relationship, God knows you've done that enough.
Ok.
Take care of yourself.
E agora vês comigo, certo? Yeah. Perdão. Agora nunca está aqui o homem. Pois, agora o homem nunca está aqui. Queria sempre comprar agora. Fui agora comprar uma nave, mesmo bacana. Aí está o FIFA Maníaco, como é que é? Como é que é FIFA Maníaco? Estás fixe ou quê? Estamos na nossa nave. Estás fixe, maluco? Ainda FIFA Maníaco.
Yeah,
Mas
boss?
li agora? E é como caralho, estás lixado. Obrigadão, mano, obrigadão. És o melhor, mano. Bem, para lá. Para lá então. Grande abraço, FIFA Maníaco. Bom trabalho, tu.
Let's put this bird to space.
Muito bom. Muito bom. Este jogo está simplesmente fantástico.
Orbital insertion completed. Nice job. You're right on target.
Fleet vessel ID recognized. Welcome home to the key.
Solid docking job there. Nice work.
Para lá, cara. Grandes malucos. Assim, né?
All hell's breaking loose, Rook. Delgado needs you in the repair bay with Jazz as soon as possible. Hooray! You got the conduction gizmo. You did exactly what we asked you to do. Good work, pat on the head. Are you ignoring me or something? I just said there's an emergency.
Começo, respeito.
Respect. That's why you're here? Look around you. The only reason all these losers are here is to earn credits or die trying. When I feel like you've earned it, I'll stop calling you Rook. Right now, we've got a crisis on our hands. Oh, that's hilarious. You're a real comedian, you know that? Now get your ass to the repair bay. Go!
Olha, temos que acabar com ela.
Need something?
We'll have the
Las berras.
systems on run someday.
Berra, muito berra.
While we're here, perhaps we should remain silent about my background with the United Colonies.
And you are sure we will have those defense batteries up and running?
No. I'm not sure. They're in bad shape, Del. Really bad shape. I'm already using duct tape and spit to keep the station from falling apart, and you want me to pull a rabbit out of my hat?
I don't want to hear excuses. I want to hear that it's going to be fixed. Period. Get it done.
All right, I'm on it.
You want to quit standing there and hand over the conduction grid data?
Mais das bactérias do texto.
Nothing you need to worry about.
Stay in your own space lane and let Jazz do her damn job. Now, do you have what we sent you to Neon for, or not?
Wow. Really?
You know what else isn't easy? Listening to complaints from everyone.
All right, I get it. Just hand over the tech.
All right, listen up because I don't want to repeat this twice. We've gotten word that UC Systef is massing somewhere nearby for an attack on the key. While we prepare for their arrival, I want you to head straight for Bannock 4 and bring Kryx's legacy home.
Ok. Você deve estar perguntar.
I have a very reliable source at Mast. They were so concerned that the threat was real, they actually jumped the information out to us right away. Oh my god. Haven't you been paying attention? The only reason half the fleet's captains haven't scattered across the settled systems is because they're waiting for their part of the score. No money means no protection. No protection means we are done when Systef arrives. Simple enough for you? Just slow down and listen before you jump the gun and ruin everything. Lay it out, Jess.
All right, first things first. I'm gonna upload this data you snagged from Generdyne into the Key's databanks. All you need to do is build and then install a conduction grid module onto your ship. Oh, and if you haven't already, you'll need the comm spike module installed as well.
While we're at it, perhaps we should fetch your groceries.
Once your ship is ready, jump out to Bannock 4, board the Legacy, and bring us the cash. Everything you'll need for ship repair and construction is down in Jass's section of the Key. If you have any questions about the modules, she'll have all the answers. You better pray that isn't the case, because that means we are done. As in, no more Crimson Fleet. Of course there's a catch. What, you thought this would be easy?
After you board the Legacy, be on the lookout for 2 transfer modules. They're special keys that allow access to the ship's vault. Once you locate the vault's control center, hook up the data core I'm gonna give you, and download everything they've got.
And before you get any bright ideas, like running off with the money, that currency is going to be heavily encrypted. Only a genius like Shinya will be able to crack that encryption. So bring it back here right away. Because those Galbank ships were carrying so much money, they didn't even trust their own crew. That would be a first. I have yet to see encrypted currency that Shinya could not manipulate within hours. I mean, the guy plugs his body directly into his mainframe. He eats, breathes, and shits numbers all day. No, I'm not worried about it. Are you kidding? Everyone around here is a traitor. Look, I'm gonna make this real simple for you. If that money ends up anywhere but the Key, I will hunt you down and pry it out of your dead hands myself. Now get moving. The Crimson Fleet isn't really a fleet. It's an ideal. A principle that Kryx sought to set up so that pirates didn't infight over scraps. Over time, that notion has been lost. Captains have been turning their backs on the fleet, doing jobs on the side, killing each other. Bringing Kryx's legacy back to the fleet would be like validating everything Jasper Kryx believed in. And I'm certain it would unify us once again. Of course, it wouldn't exactly hurt to have all that extra money at our disposal. But I think you catch my meaning. You've met some of them already. Mathis Castillo, Yevgeny Rokov, Juan Dayu, Estelle Vincent, and Adler Kemp. They might feel like independents to you, but each one of them has a stake in the Crimson Fleet, and each one of them wants a cut of the wealth. I am sending word out to every able-bodied captain that they are needed. We'll see how many answer the call. The toughest nut to crack is if UC Sistef brings in the Vigilance. That Commander Ikande has himself a hell of a ship there. Advanced shield tech, bristling with weapons. I would love to see that thing burn. If we hope to stand a chance against it, we need those defensive batteries and Kryx's legacy. Get moving before it's too late.
I have about 1 million things to do. Can't this wait? There are 3 defensive batteries, basically high-powered military space turrets, triangulated around. They were part of the UC's original defenses for the station. Pretty effective, too. The good news is that the batteries have an incredibly wide field of coverage, so they can pick off ships trying to reach them. The bad news is that they're 100-year-old tech. They keep breaking down. Well, you already know that the conduction grid does a pretty nifty trick. The version for your ship can still... Instead, it just has a nice side effect. The comm spike traces and decrypts coded signals. As long as you have the transponder ID, you can track pretty much anything. That file you lifted from... All you have to do... This is it. Don't screw this up.
Clamps released.